So Sarah, lovely to talk to you, and this opportunity just to review Master Coach a little bit down the line, really. So we often get people saying they had a great time at the end of the 5 days, and we take those raw videos of people who have just finished the course, which is great. But what I wanted to know is I wanted to come back and have a few conversations with people 6 months, a year down the line, and going in the cold light of day. What difference has Master Coach made to your ability, your skill set, your toolbox? You were an experienced coach long before you did Master Coach. So what's the difference that's made the difference for you in studying Master Coach?
For me, Master Coach revealed a whole deeper level of what mBraining's about. You know, I obviously learned in kind of the sort of regular coaching course about kind of there's these 3 brains, and there might even be some more. I still had a lot of questions in terms of so I'm an NLP coach as well, parts of you talking, communicating, and how that kind of worked with the 3 brains. So it helped me connect a lot of those dots in terms of actually, if there's an unconscious signal that the body is giving you, let's say it's a tapping left toe, or it's a pain in your right knee, or I don't know, the yips in golf or something like that, being able to understand what it is that the body is trying, or being able to work out how to understand what it is that the body's trying to tell you, was just was awesome. Having a theoretical background in terms of why this part is talking to you in this way, being able to understand the autonomic nervous system in a lot greater depth, because I kind of understood the basics of it, but actually taking that to a deeper level, taking that understanding to a whole new depth has basically meant, in terms of my clients, I have a better understanding of what's going on for them in terms of that context. I'm able to help them as a coach make a difference in their lives a lot quicker, because it's kind of more tools and more kind of information. The best example is a client of mine she's a golfer. She's had in her body, she gets, when she has a conversation with her mother, she gets these kind of pains in her body. She gets these parts of her body that stiffen up, and she's been doing EFT tapping and kind of all sorts of things, which, although has been effective, has meant that every time she has the problem, she's had to go to a coach to deal with it. And she hasn't been able to deal with it on her own. What we did in terms of understanding, using kind of the Master Coach learnings, is we could understand, what is this part of you trying to tell you? What is it that your autonomic nervous system is trying to tell you? And teaching her how to be able to do that herself, rather than having to go to a coach to do kind of EFT tapping. I've always believed my role as a coach is to train my clients to be able to solve their problems themselves, to train myself out of a job. That's when I know I've done a really good job as a coach, when I'm no longer needed. And for me, in terms of that deeper level of mBraining that's come from Master Coach, and learning about the autonomic nervous system, learning about the sex brain, learning about kind of all these other parts, has meant that I'm more able to do that with my clients.
Nice. And if you can take yourself back to before you did the course. So you see the first flyer, or you have the first conversation, and you start thinking through, is it for me, isn't it for me, what might I get out of it? Can you remember what your expectations were before? What was it that you picked up on, or you were aware of, that meant that you made that connection with me to book onto the course? What was it you were looking for?
I was looking for a deeper level of understanding. I was looking for more ways to help my clients, to make that process faster, quicker, more efficient for me, in terms of a coach, in terms of reading the signals of what's going on with my clients, as well as enabling my clients to get a result quicker. I'm interested in any technique, any way of working that is going to enable my clients to get results faster, is going to enable them to find a solution, to find a new way of being, was going to work for them. And yeah, I sort of felt from my first introduction to mBIT and how I'd been using it, this stuff was already really useful. Actually, I feel like it's probably the tip of the iceberg. I didn't understand much of what I was going to, what we were going to do in Master Coach. I'd sort of had some hints and tips from Grant and some kind of insights from you, Suzanne, but it wasn't until I got there that it was like, wow, jaw-dropping. This stuff is amazing. It connected lots and lots of dots, plus also helped me think about lots of new ways of doing things. And I've used the stuff, massively since. Massively. I've used it with a local boys' school here, and got 12 and 13-year-olds to actually shock their system with ice water and to do stuff in terms of teaching them the basics of parasympathetic and sympathetic in a really practical, pragmatic way, as well as with elite athletes. I've got a lady who's about to swim the Cook Strait, and we've been doing some cold training and some ice baths and things to enable her to get used to the fact that actually the biggest issue of swimming the Cook Strait is actually hypothermia. It's not it's not the distance, it's actually what happens to your body in terms of extremes of temperature. And as a result of kind of doing that course, I'm able to understand that and able to advise her with Grant's help on a kind of strategy of how to deal with extremes. So for me, I have a lot of extreme clients who do a lot of amazing things, and it's enabled me to work with them at a deeper level, as well as the kind of the 13-year-old who's emotional understanding, who's you can't go too deep in kind of knowledge with that audience, and it's enabled me to explain things in a simpler, easier way for them to.
Fabulous. And I happen to know that boys' school work was also sport related, and you're obviously a world-renowned sports coach, but I also know you're a fabulous leadership coach and women's coach, because that might be a larger part of the audience of people listening to this: workers, leadership, success in career. Is there an example you can share where you've used it in that context that other people might go, oh?
Probably the biggest example is me in terms of the changes that have happened in me, and how I present, how I work with people, how I kind of I spend a lot of time kind of working with large groups of people, and for me, in terms of that depth of authenticity, there was a lot of stuff that I needed to clear up. That wasn't head, heart and gut brain. I had a lot of stuff that was based kind of from my pelvis, that was based from kind of the sex brains that I hadn't even considered, hadn't even thought about. There was a lot of stuff kind of in my autonomic nervous system. So I had a lot of kind of things like a tear that would come down my left cheek often when I was kind of dealing with certain issues, and being able to understand, okay, what does that mean? What is the significance of that? Why have I been running certain patterns in my life up until now, and how do I fix those? I've been I'm a what you call an A-type personality, somebody who thrives on stress, or certainly in the past have kind of always sort of thrived on stress. But I also reach burnout really easily, which means I literally just crash after something happens, and this pattern is repeated over and over and over in my life. And to be able to understand, why is it that that's been going on, and what do I do in order to fix that? Why hasn't meditation worked for me? Why haven't kind of all of these things worked? Has just been astounding in terms of me recalibrating my life and stopping those old patterns and replacing them with stuff that actually works for my personality and who I am. So in terms of that personal journey, that's been massive for me. And then in terms of working with others, being able to spot those patterns, being able to, in terms of leadership, the majority of leaders that I come across, that I work with, The majority of people who are in charge of businesses tend to be that type of personality. So being able to talk from the heart, being able to talk from experience in terms of, well, look, you know, this is what's happened to me, actually helps me, in terms of believability with those people, as well as being able to make a difference and being able to spot things quicker, because I guess I've been through the mill and the ringer myself. That helps.
Yeah, life throws us curveballs, eh? So for your own personal, for working with your clients, no regrets? You're glad that you've got those mBIT Master Coach skills under your belt?
I wish I'd done it earlier, actually. I didn't realise how much more there was to mBraining until I did Master Coach, and I'd actually wish I'd done them back to back and kind of all together. So I can't stress enough actually how wow and how amazing Master Coach is. Even if you don't know why you need to do it, I really genuinely felt the depth of learning and understanding was just awesome. The research Grant has done in terms of scientific backing, and I'd done a lot of stuff on vagus nerve. I've done a lot of neuroscience stuff through other courses and other kind of bits that I've been working with, and for me Grant helped connect a lot of those dots, plus brought in some new stuff that has just it's wowed me, but it's also been incredibly useful. It's something that I use every day with my clients, and I've got a whole suite of NLP, hypnosis, meditation, all sorts of stuff that I could use. I find myself more and more using the stuff that I learned on Master Coach, both consciously and unconsciously. So,
Fabulous.
I thoroughly recommend it.
Thank you for sharing your story, and for anyone listening, if you're thinking about doing this for yourself, for your clients, then give us a shout, get in touch and ask the questions that you need to have answered in order for you to make a decision that's right for you. Thank you so much, Sarah.